Hello, my dear listeners. My name is Kishore Ganesh, and in this episode of the Vocal About Visuals podcast, I'll be reviewing a rather exciting thriller called 11 that is currently playing on Amazon Prime Video. It is written and directed by Lokkesh Ajls, and it has a surprising name as the creative producer in the form of Prabhu Solomon of Kumki fame. 11 has the vibe of an indie movie, and let's first give it up for that. What I mean by this is that they had a limited budget, and because of that they had to make very efficient use of it in the areas where it was absolutely needed. And where was it needed? Good question. 11 is a whodunit, a solid murder mystery at that. So they had to spend the money on things that revolve around the mystery and those that would make it work. This means no unnecessary big name female lead who would anyway not have had a big role in the film, and no big name hero either. However, that didn't mean that the hero in this case, Naveen Chandra, was anything less than good. He was very good, in fact. For an actor from Telugu to seamlessly integrate into a Tamil film would have been difficult, especially with him dubbing his own lines in Tamil. But except for a mild Telugu accent, he didn't have any trouble in executing his responsibilities. Similarly, the female lead, played by Rhea Hari, who also happens to be the producer of the film, was competent in her short role. Had they gone for the aforementioned big name actress, the cost would have shot up, and for what exactly? Rhea has one very interesting twist near the climax where her character occupies a position of prominence, and she has more or less stepped up to do a very good job in this role. This is exactly the kind of move I would expect a producer with acting ambitions to make, and only in this specific context would that be palatable for this reviewer. Legend Saravana something. If you are very curious about this, just go ahead and Google Legend the movie or something like that. You will understand what I'm going on about. Now, to tie all of this up in a bow, they didn't spend money on big name actors. They just got competent ones. Next up, what exactly did they spend the money on? I'll tell you, the detailing. You see the detailing in showcasing the dead bodies and the crime scenes. You see it in the background props in the form of books that the characters apparently are reading, and you definitely see it in the locations and sets. And ably assisting this indie mindset is the beautiful cinematography of Ashokan Karthik. The sets and locations are lit beautifully, adding a sense of grandeur to the proceedings and cleverly hiding the efficient use of resources. Let me put it this way. There is a scene in which the hero has his car get repaired, and where the audience has to be introduced to the heroine as she is supposed to give him a lift. The movie accomplishes this with a desolate street in daylight with only a jeep and the heroine's car. No extras, no ambience getting created that this is actually a street in Chennai. It's a simple connecting scene. Why will you do it any other way? Now, if this scene is going to help the film get the detailing when it comes to the charring of dead bodies in other scenes in a convincing way, then I'm all for it. Now, coming to the pièce de résistance of this film, the writing. The screenplay, again by Lokkesh Ajls, has managed to achieve both the aforementioned efficiency and satisfaction in the proceedings, minus any rush or leaving you with that quote-unquote wanting feeling that maybe the scenes have been cut prematurely without putting a satisfying full stop to the moment that's unfolding on the screen. Now, I'm going to do a bit of a 180 and contradict myself here, but bear with me because I think you'll agree with me on this by the end of my explanation. But before that, let me finish off one important call out about the acting performances in the film apart from the leads. Abhirami of Thug Life and Virumandi fame is in this movie, and man is she good. This role may be a short one, but she stands head and shoulders above everyone else in the movie. Well, almost everybody. Because there is another actor who is as good as her, but in some scenes maybe even better, who in fact is a child actor, whose name I unfortunately could not find out as part of my research. Now, this child actor's role is pivotal in the film because he has to sell the all-important sympathy angle to the audience, and man does he nail it. In fact, it is with his and Abhirami's performances, the lack of emotional connectivity the audience might feel with the story gets addressed. After their portions is when we sympathize with the story. Post their flashback portion, this film gets elevated to another level and rushes forward efficiently to its end, leaving us with a satisfactory, if not a morally palatable ending. Or maybe it is moral after all. You watch and tell me in the comments or on my social channels. Would love to have that discussion. Now, I didn't forget my 180. As much as I have propounded the efficiency of the production, the neatness of their execution, the clear skill to deliver a satisfactory film, a satisfactory product even, I cannot but think that if they had more budget, if they got to make this movie with even bigger stars who wouldn't try to influence the script to include quote-unquote mass moments, but instead would do this film as is, then this film would not just be a cult sensation, a darling of the online masses, but would have actually been a great in the whodunit genre. I genuinely hope the producers remake the script maybe 10 years down the line with a bigger budget, bigger star actors, and with minor changes and updates to the little details in the script. All things said and done though, don't miss out on this movie, because if a proper whodunit is how you want to nestle down on a weekend afternoon or a rainy evening, then on a scale of 1 to 10, this one's 11. Certain conditions apply. Once again, my name is Kishore Ganesh. This is the Vocal About Visuals podcast, and thank you, my dear listeners, for your time and for listening.